If you've opened this video, you're probably interested in finding your own art style. And to form and build your art style faster, I highly recommend you doing the art style studies. It's when you try to draw some character, for example, into other artists' style. You can also do it in the form of the challenge. It helps you to dive deeper and analyze the way how somebody else is thinking while making their masterpieces. This is one of the steps which can help you to speed up the development of your unique art style. And I've mentioned these steps or ways in my previous art style video. So now I wanted to demonstrate you how I would do an art style studies. And for that purpose, I've chosen Loish, as she has an awesome art style, and I'd like to look closer at how she does what she does. I took several of her artworks and put them together for inspiration. I'm gonna redraw this Hades portrait in her style. This is one of the artworks I made quite some time ago. So I'm starting with a sketch, and instantly I noticed that she tends to draw head shapes more like a circle, not an oval. She makes very big eyes, small nose, and even smaller lips. And she also draws the chin kind of very tiny. Especially good we see it on this portrait. You can draw right on top of this artwork to try to define and understand the proportions. First, I'm making a very rough sketch to kinda map the elements on the face. I also see that she likes using hard and textured brushes. I prefer soft air brushes, so it will be quite the challenge for me. Before this exercise, I've also checked out a couple of her process videos for inspiration too. Don't remember anything from it, but I hope it helped. I hope it got there somewhere deep in my subconsciousness or something. Then I make more detailed sketch on top. I'm trying to replicate the eyes form, eyebrows, nose, lips. But I'm not copying the artwork, just the features. She also plays with the line's thickness. So we need to try to understand why she's making lines thick or thin in this or that circumstances. I can see that she makes the outlines thicker and inner lines thinner. And she also highlights major elements like nose, eyes, lips. While trying to replicate Loish's style, I noticed that she simplifies ears and draws them very different from my way of drawing ears. I would have never paid attention to it without this study. For the hair, I tried to use that smoke as a reference and combine it with the hair. Not thrilled with the result, but I guess it will do. I didn't have any plan and I couldn't understand how to represent the structure of this fire hair, so I had to experiment and try different things. I think it actually turned out looking like the earlier style of Loish, or at least I want to believe that, and I feel same kind of vibe from the sketch. After finishing the line art, it's time to color. I put the base colors and look closer on how Loish colors her artworks. I visually go through each face element and copy the highlights, the shadow forms. I noticed that she makes some kind of sketch lines while shading, so I also do just that. She also likes to draw highlights and shadows with kind of blocks. I do that too now. I love how the face turning out, but I totally couldn't get the hair right, as I think. But, of course, I won't be able to copy the style that the artist has been developing for years that easy. More rendering, and more rendering. And again, rendering. I'm trying to play with some colors, light, values, add some stuff those bubbles around like Loish has on her artworks, like one artwork, but still. I continue rendering until I realize that I love the color combo in this artwork, and I want to learn how to do it, so I add some of the red color to my artwork. Even though in the original design there was just kind of blue, everything's been just blue. And I started noticing that Loish loves to add bright colors to the shadows and the line art. And I just get carried away with it completely. I start putting it everywhere, and I know that I absolutely overdid it, but I don't mind. I'm having fun. Still very stressful fun though, because I have no idea what I'm doing, but still fun. I've also sent it to my computer and Photoshop to try push the similarity a bit more, but it's still very different. Anyway, here is the final result. After this study, I feel like the most impactful thing for me was the idea that I can draw line art and shadows with the bright colors. This thing really hit me. So what I want to do now is to come back to my original artwork of Hades and try to implement it in there. So I start adding this bright red or pink color to the shadows and the edges of the character, like line art. Probably I've interpreted the Loish style differently than you would. Maybe you would find the textured brushes more interesting for yourself. And the implication of this idea of colorful shadows and line art looks completely different on my artwork than the original source. Maybe I've even found something that wasn't there at all. But this art style study forced me to come out of my comfort zone and experiment and find something new. And this is the final result, and as much as I love the original, I really enjoy this color combo and this a bit stylized look. So I might actually implement it in the future. At least now I have this tool at my techniques library. Yes, I've also learned a bit how to use those textured brushes, but I'm still not fan of them. They're more stressful for me than fun, so I'm gonna leave that. Maybe someday I'll come back to it, but not today. No. I'll stick to my airbrushes. They are soft and big and nice. Anyway, it's been an awesome exercise and I loved it so much, and I highly recommend you to try doing it yourself. So I hope you'll find this video helpful. If you want to support me to do more of this kind of content and also to get access to all of my post references and step-by-step tutorials, consider supporting me on Patreon.
Thank you for your patronage.
Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day and I'll see you soon. Bye.